Hi, this is Donovan Blackburn. Welcome to the City Manager's Report. Today we have some special guests in the studio from Schmidt Family Restaurant Group. I'd like to introduce you to Justin Juice Schmidt. Justin, welcome to Pikeville.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Today we had a groundbreaking ceremony down near the Lowe's area, as most people in the market knows where that's at, to welcome a new business that's coming to Pikeville. The Schmidt family has a couple different franchise that you all operate and run, but one in particular the community is extremely excited to see come to our great city and to serve the region. So tell us a little bit about what you're bringing and who our guests are here.
Okay, we're bringing a Buffalo Wild Wings to Pikeville. It'll make our fifth Buffalo Wild Wings location. Our home office is based in Portsmouth, Ohio. We've got one in Portsmouth, Ironton, Gallipolis, Ohio, and also Moorhead, Kentucky. So Pikeville will be our fifth. We're really excited about it. I brought with us the guys that'll be overseeing everything. Brian Rose, who's been with us over 5.5 years, going on 6. He's actually from Knott County. He'll be the general manager in training for that location. And Shane Bancroft, been with us over 5.5 years as well. He'll be overseeing everything as the area manager. Both are currently at our Moorhead location. They do a fine job, and they're tickled to death to get started on the whole project.
Well, we're certainly excited to bring our newest franchise opportunity to the community. During the groundbreaking event today, Juice, you talked a little bit about the time frame. I know the community is kind of interested in learning a little bit about more what your plans are in actually opening the facility. Can you kind of enlighten us a little bit about
Sure.
where you're heading?
Right now, we've gotten preliminary approval from Buffalo Wild Wings corporate. Once we get that preliminary approval, then the architect goes to putting a full set of plans together. So right now he's in the middle of that. We're hoping to have that wrapped up here in, within 60 days.
Okay.
The goal is to get open sometime in the spring of next year. I know I've already had a lot of people asking, are we going to be open for March Madness? That might be pushing the envelope a little too much right now.
Understood.
But we still have to worry about permitting. Obviously, weather coming up, the winter time's not the best time to build because you are at the mercy of the weather. So it'll be sometime in the spring of next year we'll be open.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to it. Again, you just introduced your management staff.
Mm-hmm.
We should talk a little bit about each of their roles and how they see this new business developing and unfolding.
Yeah. So these two gentlemen, Brian and Shane, they'll be responsible for handling all of the hiring, interviewing, training all the personnel we open up with. Initially, when we open up, depending on availability and scheduling, we'll be over 120 employees starting off. So we'll be bringing over 120 jobs. Once that levels out, I still foresee us being close to 100. Again, based on availability and schedules. Some people can only work certain things.
That's great.
Depends on how many people from U-Pike we get and when they can work. But they'll be spending a lot of time down here very soon. Talking to people, getting them hired, hopefully bringing some of those folks, some of those key people down to our Moorhead location, put them up in hotels so they get trained. Now, Buffalo Wild Wings will bring a training team in pretty much for 2 weeks. We have 1 week of training with nobody in the restaurant, and then they'll stay there the first week of operations. So, and then we'll bring a lot of our folks from our other locations to be at the facility to help out. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I know you had a couple of questions for your staff
Yeah.
that's coming in, so I'll turn it over to you and let you kind of give their little take on what's getting ready to happen.
Well, Brian, I believe Brian's been in Moorhead for a total of 8 years. He's been with us at Buffalo Wild Wings, like I said, going on 6. So I know he's excited to get back. I alluded to earlier, he's from Knott County. So I know he and his family are excited about coming back. So, Brian, what do you think about coming back closer to home?
It's exciting to come back to the community you grew up at and bring a business's caliber with me. So, it's pretty exciting.
So, Brian, you were again from
I'm from Knott County.
So you're an Eastern Kentucky boys.
Yes.
We're at, okay, that's where
Southeastern
I was trying to
Kentucky.
get. Well, what's been unique is over the past couple of hours and getting to know you all is that most of the stories, as Juice, as you know, I've been telling, Brian's been able to finish my sentence because he's been part of us for the past several years. So it's always great to see somebody come back home, and I commend you on the selection, not only because of his ability, but also just bringing somebody back that understands the community, understands the market. I know was a great strategic move for you, but also good for Brian and his family, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
It works twofold. I mean, number one, he does a great job with what he does in the restaurant itself, but also having someone from the community.
Amen.
You take more pride in what you do because the people you're looking at, you know. So if we transplant somebody in, they don't buy in as much. And like I said at the groundbreaking, we're not just another restaurant. We are a partner in the community. Whether that's picking up trash on the highway, whether that's building parks, we've done all those things. We have a program called Cruise in the Community, where we require our restaurant teams to get out in the community and do volunteer work.
That's great.
So we partner with whatever organization it may be. If they need help, we're going to help them. Because again, when you're serving your guests, you need to be able to know you have a rapport with them. So it does works twofold in this case.
Well, Brian, we've got a few suggestions for you when you come back already. Just kidding. Again, welcome back. We're looking forward to getting you in here. Let's talk a little bit. I know you've got some discussion or some input about the facility itself.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk a little bit about what this facility is going to represent, the size, all the different components that's going to be inside?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, a little over 7,600 square feet.
Wow.
Much bigger than any current location we have. This prototype is called Stadia, which is basically stadium. Buffalo Wild Wings wants to have that stadium feel when you walk in. So when you walk in the front doors, you're greeted. Around that greeter station is the bar, which is centralized. And we have a pretty cool feature, a patio that we're doing. And I'll let Shane talk on that. He's got a little bit of experience with the garage door look we have in Moorhead currently, but Shane, you want to talk about the patio we're putting in here in Pikeville?
Yes, the patio itself will be a specialized patio with a number of seats, including booths. It actually has very large garage doors that in the springtime, summertime, when the weather's really nice, we can open those garage doors so it'll still be under roof, but they can have an outdoor feel to it, and enjoy the river. We also plan on possibly doing some kind of entertainment outside of that patio for our community. It also will have its own personal bar, as we will have 2 bar locations in this restaurant, which would also be a great room for meetings and conferences and parties and special bookings.
So I guess that was the question I was going to ask you. You do special bookings, so if there's groups that want to come in to have a certain time slot, you would be able to accommodate them as well?
Yes, that's correct. All they have to do is reserve it, book it through us, and it's just a great location to have a special event, a birthday, a meeting, a conference, whatever the occasion may be.
Well, and I've noticed a lot of the local restaurants do as well. They do a lot of birthday parties and such. So is there a special package that Buffalo offers, or is it just pretty much the spacing?
Pretty much we offer the spacing. Yep. We're pretty accommodating to whatever the needs that the guest needs. So whatever they may need for the accommodation for that particular event, we'll provide.
Oh, that's great. One of the interests, or one of the, not only Buffalo coming in, because as I said today during the groundbreaking event, this is more, gentlemen, than just a Buffalo coming to us, to the community. It represents a lot of different things, and we're extremely delighted and excited, and certainly, Juice, I certainly appreciate your time and effort, and as the vice president of your organization, the franchise, the company you represent under the Schmidt family name, some of the things that you've talked about early on is not only doing a restaurant, but doing something unique and special based on what the community represents. And having a university, having a technical college, I would assume both would pique your interest.
Sure.
Tell us, and I guess where I'm going with this is tell us a little bit about what the experience is for those that may have never been to a Buffalo, and I'm sure there's not very many out there that hasn't, but you were talking today about TVs, and Shane was just talking about the deck, but some of the things how you can accommodate different events. That really why you're going through the front doors to experience Buffalo Wild Wings, other than the food.
Right. We try real hard, even though we do serve alcohol, we try real hard to be a restaurant that serves alcohol because we want it to be for all ages. We don't show, currently, we've never shown a UFC fight. We just never have. We believe that any parent can bring their child in, no matter the age, and have a great experience. We've partnered with, at their restaurant in Moorhead, we partner with Moorhead State. We do a lot of cool things with the university. The mascot in Moorhead is Beaker. So we have a program called Beaker's Buddies that kids partner with Moorhead and with us, and they get different discounts and things like that. We've thrown out food. I still don't understand how we quite do this, but we throw food into the stands, and when it's wrapped up during timeouts. We've done the chicken wing dance in the middle of the court during timeouts. So we work real hard to be part of the community and welcome all ages.
Well, and Juice, one of the things, thinking back, because the first time you and I spoke was in, as mentioned, May of 2013. So we've been in discussion and trying to make this a reality for some time. But one of the things that really piqued my interest, and you just said it again, was this facility is very family friendly.
Yeah.
I know those, I've been to Moorhead, and I've been not outside your franchise, but I've been to the one in South Charleston both, and every time you go in, it's about family. There, it seems it's not just about the college scene. It's not just about dads having wings. It's also about a different dining experience and families. If you would tell us a little, for those again out there that maybe that hasn't visited a Buffalo yet, but talk a little bit about what the menu is. I'm just curious. Obviously it's wings.
Obviously we're known for wings. Yes, I'm very partial and biased. There's really nothing on the menu that I've had that I dislike. We got traditional wings that are bone-in. We have boneless wings that are our most popular. We got great wraps, chicken wraps. We have great sandwiches, great burgers. A multitude of appetizers from mozzarella sticks to onion rings to mini corn dogs, fried pickles. Great menu that way. But most of the people come for our boneless wings. Seems like it's boneless wings with honey barbecue is the sauce of choice.
That's mine.
Right? So with a lot of ranch. It's typically, and a lot of napkins.
Guilty on all accounts. Besides the menu, I think I went into a question a moment ago, didn't finish it, but my fault. But it's known, when you go in, there's usually sports. This being displayed, I heard you say earlier that you'll have at least 1 or 2 television sets as part of this experience.
1, 2, or 75, 80 plus. I love TVs. I love sports, so it's fun to be able to design where the TVs go. I'm very cautious. No matter where you sit, you have to have a ton of TVs around you so you can see different games. Now I know on certain nights, UK has taken over those TVs, and we welcome that and
appreciate the colors today.
That's
and
right.
Support.
That's right. Yeah. But no, Buffalo Wild Wings, we want to be the ultimate experience for the sports fan. So when you come in, we get every package that I can think of, from NCAA football, NCAA basketball. We have NFL Sunday Ticket. We have the NHL Network, the NBA package, soccer packages. I mean, any sports package that's out there, we get. So if it's on TV, we should be able to find it. Good. So, it is the sports fan. We have little tablets for the kids. They don't have to play with their, parents' smartphones. They can come in and we have tablets for them to play. We have vending games that they can play. So we call them babysitters. You know what? When mom and dad come in and they want to sit down and have a nice meal, kids can go play vending games. They can try to win something out of a crane or drive a car. Whatever game suits the area, we'll put those in. But we want, our other locations, when you come in, somebody there. So it's just a great experience. It's high energy, it's loud, it's fun, and the wings are hot and the beer is cold, life is good.
Well, it's exciting, and you know, when I think back 2.5 years ago, and when the city commission sat down, when I sat down with them, and a lot of decisions were made as of not only who we were going to recruit, but who we needed to form relationships with. You know, we've got obviously some great restaurants in the community, but what we saw as unique about Buffalo was the things that you're explaining. It's not only having a proven franchisee that's got a great reputation, and you know, you and I over the last 2.5 years have developed a kinship and a relationship, and it's been a great pleasure knowing what your organization represents. But also, when you look at the community and you look at all the growth that we have had over the past several years, and you've recognized this. You know, when you look at Pikeville, we've got a pretty substantial draw area because we are a hub, a central hub, with the university, the technical college, the hospital. We've got a new industrial park that's going forward, the expo center, all the attractions. We at lunch today we talked about Hillbilly Days. Having this experience, and that's what I call this restaurant. And that's what it's in my opinion, where it's a little bit different than, you know, going in and sitting down and enjoying a meal, which, you know, we can do. We had a great lunch today. But going into where, again, the kids can play on the pad, or you know, I can watch a great football game and interact with my friends and family and buddy. It seems to me that Buffalo is more about the experience as much as it is about the food.
No doubt about it.
So I commend you all on that.
It's definitely, yeah, we serve great food, and we're going to want to make sure your food is hot and fresh, but we don't deliver just a hot meal. We want to give you a total experience. As soon as you walk in, we want you to come in our doors and feel like, I'm not in Pikeville, Kentucky anymore. I'm in some different world because of the facility we're going to give you, the hospitality we're going to give you, and the service we're going to give you. We want it to be second to none.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind it will be. You know, going back on what we were talking about in relationship to the deck, you know, I applaud you on that because it's not just about going back to the experience.
Right.
One of the things that we've talked about early on is wanting to partner with our River Trail program. Having a deck overlooking the river, the Big Sandy, it's a different environment, it's a different experience. But also looking over and seeing kayaker after kayaker coming by, and hopefully coming off the river and having the opportunity of visiting. We have numerous establishments that they can visit, but this, in the sports realm, this is more in their flavor of what I think that somebody that's out there, an adrenaline junkie or a sports enthusiast, would want to come in and partake of. So, you know, again, it's more, as it's opened up, it's more about just a restaurant. It's about the experience, and certainly we have been talking past several months about the size of the facility. This isn't your typical size, and my understanding is you had to fight pretty hardly, I guess. Is that a word? But
we had some open disagreements with certain things, because again, when you're going to build a restaurant, you know, they give you the prototype,
right?
Standard shell. This is how it looks. And the times I've been here to Pikeville, it is the central hub. There's a lot of people coming. I want to be able to accommodate the people coming. So we made the facility much bigger than typical, and we think it's going to be warranted. And if today's groundbreaking was any precursor to that, I think it's going to be well received. I tip my hat to you. That groundbreaking was first class all the way. We're a part of a lot of communities. I've never seen anything close to that. I was actually telling these two guys, what Pikeville has given us is what we want to give our guests. They're giving us the experience. Pikeville has, and you're the reason for that, given us the experience to make us feel good, that you want to come back. So it's the same thing that we do with our guests when they walk in. What kind of experience are you giving them? Or are you just treating them like somebody coming in to give you money? No, you have to make them feel like, when am I coming back again? So again, the groundbreaking ceremony was just unbelievable. We are very thankful for what you guys put on, and very impressive.
Well, we appreciate it, and certainly on behalf of the mayor and the city commissioners, I know which each attended the event today and spoke out. they're very appreciative that you looked at Pikeville as a market. You understood the market because Pikeville is somewhat a difficult market to understand. But if you understand trade areas, it's not just about the population of 7,000. It's about the population that surrounds the market that you will have a draw. And so it's the unique thing is this is a destination location. This isn't just a restaurant.
Right.
And I keep saying we have some great brands out there, but what this is going to do for Pikeville is it's going to open us up to other markets that would typically drive to a Charleston or a Lexington to want to get this type of experience. They can do it in their own backyard. So we appreciate that. The community appreciates that. So they're going forward, even talking to the university and Big Sandy Technical College, it's somewhat of a recruiting tool for them. When people come in from out of the area, and typically in the past, a lot of our kids have had to leave the area, and a lot of them may stay away because they don't have the experiences that you're able to offer. So this is just one more, great feather in the community's hat. That's another tool in the toolbox. I'm excited because of all the extras that you decided to layer in. Having the outdoor or the bay doors on the deck is, as we just mentioned, is would allow, I assume, the facility to do multi things for the community. So it's going to be it's exciting. It's really exciting. It's our pleasure. So what haven't we talked about today that you would like the community to know about? I've asked you a few questions.
I think we've touched on everything, other than when the wings are going to be started.
Well, that's where I was going. You mentioned earlier you appreciated the groundbreaking. We're looking forward to the ribbon cutting.
Right, as we are too. So.
Well, I know there's a lot of work still yet to do. As you mentioned earlier, we still to get the design and through the permitting process, and people that are in your business that are developing these type of facilities doesn't realize or have the appreciation maybe of all the hoops you have to jump through to get to this point. So I commend you. I know that you worked locally with some business owners on property, and again, which we didn't mention, if you're not familiar with where the location is, you want to.
We're going to be on Lee Street, right across from Tractor Supply, on that parcel right there. Again, overlooking the patio will overlook the Big Sandy River. So we think it's a great visibility coming from 23 or Corridor G, or easy access if you're coming the back way heading to Pikeville Commons or somewhere like that. So we think it's a great location, and we're excited to get going.
Well, Juice, in our business begots business, and it builds business. And you and I both know, and there'll be some announcements down the road, that the development where you're at is starting to grow. There's other names coming, and not just in the restaurant. They're looking at some other opportunities. So if it wasn't, for the drawing power of bringing vehicles to that area, business wouldn't want to travel there. So foot traffic means everything, and we certainly appreciate, again, not just the restaurant, not just the experience, not just the food, but what it means to the community. And it will certainly help that side over where Tractor Supply is. It'll give them an incentive to continue to grow, layer in new jobs, new opportunity, which is beneficial for all.
Right.
It's not about competition. It's about creating a service area, a service demand, and people, I guarantee, at shopping in Tractor Supply are going to come right across the street and sit down and enjoy some great tasting wings.
And vice versa. They'll be going to Tractor Supply. So
it's one plays off the other. So it's about an economy. It's about all of us and not just one of us. So and we wanted to give the viewers the opportunity of hearing, because they've. Somebody said, I think during the groundbreaking event, that this has been the worst kept secret of our community's history, probably, because you've allowed me for months to say that Schmidt Family Restaurant Group, who builds for Buffalo Wild Wings, or franchises for them, but we could never actually come out and say it until the franchise was actually approved. So we're glad to do that. We're glad to see the Buffalo logo I see on each one of your lapels today, and that'll be part of our community. It's always from an outsider, and not just in the position I'm in, but sitting home and watching those real neat Buffalo Wild Wings commercials, and knowing that the closest one to you is almost 2 hours away is disheartening at times. So now knowing that we've got one right in our backyard as another choice for our citizens brings great satisfaction to the community. So
Those
again,
commercials are much better seen inside the restaurant.
I guarantee on a few TVs.
That's right.
On one or two anyway. Well, again, we're delighted and excited and looking forward to the ground actually turning for the viewers' benefit. We elected, even though I won't say a little premature, we're probably a month or two away from actually doing some groundwork, but since the franchise was approved, the property was bought, and the architects at work, we felt it to be a little easier to come out in October weather than it would in January weather and
Sure.
break ground. So this was a way to let the community know what's going on with the building and the series and what's going to take place over the next couple of months. But certainly look forward to hopefully early spring of next year of
Sure.
sitting down to have some wings.
Yep.
Again, before I close it down, any final words, anything else you want to add to the?
You guys want to say anything?
We're excited to be here. We're ready to go to work.
Well, we appreciate it, and we're certainly looking forward to the end product, which is the building. Oh, by the way, too, I'm sure that some of the, we may be able to pull up on the monitor here in a moment. There was a layout of what the building will actually look like. There was an artist rendition that was presented today at the groundbreaking event, though it doesn't show all the bells and whistles of all the things that you're mentioning right now, but at least it's a good indication of what people will see on that, what's been a vacant lot for too long. So anyway, we appreciate it. Well, if there's no other words or no other comments.
I would
go
like
ahead.
to thank you again for being a great representative for Pikeville. I'd also like to thank the commission for the work that they did to get us over a major hurdle. That's very much appreciated from us, and also all the chamber members and the folks in the community that came out this morning for the groundbreaking. It was a first-class event, and it was much appreciated.
Well, Juice, I appreciate you saying that. You know, one of the things that, something I do at any event is give my city commission, the mayor and the commissioners, great attributes in the sense of what they've done to the community, but also thanking them for their hard work. They've seen the vision, they've stuck to the vision, they've tried to make it our community as inviting as it possibly can be. But along the way, they've got to make hard decisions, and they've been able to do that. And because of that, as I mentioned today, not only were we able to bring in a great restaurant, but we've also got a new distillery brewery being built downtown. So it's about quality of life, it's about jobs, it's about opportunity, it's about building your community from within. And those guys, I've been very blessed to work with them over the past several years. So we've got a lot of great things still moving forward, and we're glad that you'll be part of it.
Thanks.
Well, that's our update today on the City Manager's Report. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next time.